What's up, TIW Mafia? JP here, hanging out with Big Joe.
What's up?
We're in studio. I gotta mute my phone. Who brought the rookie? Who's at my front door at the house? Let's see. But yeah, we're chilling out. We're gonna talk some wrestling and talk about some other stuff too.
See what happens there.
And Joe, take this for a second.
Yeah, we're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to talk some other stuff, see what's going on. There's a lot we can do. Maybe talk about some of the different things that we might be wanting to do in the future for the show. And talk about different things, how we're going to collaborations we might be doing like we do with the Over the Top Ropes podcast and those guys, doing different things with them, trying to get to some local shows. You know, some heavy metal concerts JP's going to.
Yes.
Talk about that. We'll talk about the Gobshites and some of their Irish punk rock tunes. Just make things go. You know, who's ready?
The Gobshites need to talk about the Irish Whip.
They do. I know. I gotta tell them.
That's my life is wrestling and sort of in the summer, like a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
And then the Boston Calling. Sorry, it was ringing my doorbell, and I didn't like the look of them. So I was watching on my doorbell cam.
Can you talk to him to it?
I could, and that's why I muted my mic for a second in case I had to. Yeah. You know, this precious cargo at home.
We could have talked about the new cat.
No, my mother. Screw the cat. Ugly Cat 33 on TikTok, by the way, guys. Ugly Cat 33 on TikTok.
It's gonna be a fun.
We got my buddy Gary on. I don't know if you knew Gary. Billy Joe's brother. Billy Joe passed away of breast cancer.
I might have known him back in the day.
So you knew Billy. You definitely knew Billy. Billy Joe. Yeah.
Sweetheart.
So her brother Gary, he does TikTok pretty good. Like he went to a Red Sox game the other day. He got recognized for his TikTok.
Nice.
Yeah, but he made a lot of money last year on Snapchat and social media in general. So I want to we'll bring him in at some point and talk to him.
Yeah, to make that work. Can I do a little TikTok 101 class? You know.
We're gonna start over.
Start over.
Yeah, I thought you were on mic 2. You're on mic 3.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. So, yeah, and that mic 3 was muted the whole time. All right. What's up, TIW Mafia? Take 2.
Here we go.
With the Irish Whip hanging out with Big Joe. We're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to talk some music. We're going to talk some lots of things. Joe's wearing a nice shoot first shirt. They stole that from Han Solo, by the way.
That's actually, they may have, but it was a line from Firefly.
Yeah, which came about 30 years after.
I know, but this shirt was done a few years ago for charity. It was all done for charity with this shirt, so
they stole for charity.
It's kind of like not stealing, it's like procuring.
No. Han Solo shot first. Everyone knows that. He shot Rio in episode 4.
Different timeline, though. Different timeline.
Well, yeah, because if Firefly came first, then they wouldn't have stolen it from Star Wars. So, yeah.
Well, just say about
it. Do they have any original ideas? Or was the whole show like a tribute to Star Wars?
No, it was original.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it. A little bit. Hey, something funny?
Yeah, your dog.
You can't help it. He's just a baby.
What do you feed him?
Limited ingredient salmon, and this one is salmon and.
He might be allergic to that too.
No, they say that's good.
He might be allergic to that.
I don't know. We'll soon find out.
You know we're in a small room here.
This is like a little chamber.
There's no windows.
No windows. Well, it's not open. The door. It's not open.
We can't.
And you're stuck in the corner, so.
It doesn't matter. You're closer to him than I am.
Well, yeah, I'm used to it though. All right, let's get off the stinky dog and move on to something else. Wrestling.
It's pretty distracting.
I know.
Young Rock finale is, if depending on when you're watching it, today is Tuesday, May 24th. Actually, happy birthday to my godson Patrick. Tomorrow he turns 5 years old, 525.
Yeah, happy
Patrick's
birthday.
my little man, and it's something to be loved so unconditionally by somebody. I was just talking to my buddy Joey, it's his son.
Yeah.
And, I was like, I remember when he was like 2 years old and didn't want to be bothered with me. The first time he sat with me was because he was eating his birthday cake at his second birthday off of my plate.
There you go.
And now, like, I walk in the house and it's JP, and he runs up and I get a big hug. Like, that's crazy. Like, that someone loves me that much, you know? So, shout out to him for his 5th birthday.
Having Joey in the studio.
Get rid of the sticky dog and they might.
Hey. You make the way on that in the hallway.
And thoughts and prayers out to the people in Texas today.
That's
shooting.
shooting.
The kid killed his grandmother, stole the gun from his grandmother, killed her, and then went and killed the 18 in the school, including a teacher.
And then he was subsequently shot by the police.
Yeah. See you later.
Yeah, they should keep shooting him.
Earth might be a better place now.
Yeah. Just sad he had to take a bunch of people with him.
Yeah, and people, man, this is sad, but I love this story so much that I think I gotta tell it. Like, there was a kid from South Boston joining the Audi from Old Colony Project. He killed himself. Me and him at one point worked with the electricians union. We were like the helpers. And he was done. He had been laid off already because the job was winding down. I was still left on the job, and he hung himself. Something happened in his personal life that I won't get into because it's neither here nor there. And one of the electricians, who didn't grow up in the city, definitely grew up in the suburbs somewhere, said something along the lines of, well, at least he didn't shoot up a whole McDonald's. And he got mad at me because I responded, well, I think the mass shooters prefer Burger King. My point being is, whether one person goes down or 18 people go down, other people's lives are affected. My life was affected by that,
Absolutely.
So, and he got that particular electrician got all, I'll say, pissy with me over me saying that. And he had no idea why I said it, but this was in a time when Joe, me and you both lost a lot of people in a couple of years.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for me, I wasn't here. So it was hard.
Right, you were.
It was hard.
Yep. You were out down in the walls.
And it started with Andrew McDonough.
Yes.
Yep. Everyone growing up, everyone thinking he's a bully. He was such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And then
He was a bully growing up.
Well, but he was.
But obviously he had some mental issues.
But he was killed. He wasn't. He was killed.
Was he?
Yeah. He went to the wrong house for a party.
Oh, yes, the shot foot.
Yeah.
That was when I found out a shot foot. They give you a kind of kick someone to get you off. But the shot foot is a deadly weapon.
Yep.
A foot is just an assault and battery.
Yep. And
oh, yeah.
I remember that.
People were getting arrested that day on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, they were literally getting arrested just to be hoping they'd get in the holding cell with the guy who did that.
Yeah, it was a group of them.
Yeah.
But, that I got that letter sent to me while I was in boot camp, and it just crushed me. Because granted, I wasn't with didn't hang out with him very much. He was probably older.
Yeah. I didn't know
his sister was around.
Yeah, so I knew the sister.
Yeah.
And then I was actually thinking of someone else when you said Andrew.
Yeah.
I can't think of the kid's name I was thinking of, but that was someone that hung though.
Yeah, I know. I know.
There was another nickname.
Yeah.
Might have been McDonough actually, but yeah, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So she thought some prayers to those people in Texas and like all your families.
And thoughts and prayers still go out to the family of the people we know. Yeah, this was 30 years ago.
Always, yeah.
You know, it's tough to hear your parent of a friend doing that. And for me personally, looking the way the society goes, and I've realized throughout my life that as you get older, those friends turn into more turn into people you know, as opposed to
Right.
friends. If you break friends down to really what it
Right.
is. Yeah.
I mean, me and you had a lot of, both had a different group, had
Yeah.
a lot of friends growing up.
And
And now I have a lot of people I knew.
exactly. But the sentiment is still there. If one of them went down, we rally up.
Just like we go through a lot of gangsters and now we know a lot of officers.
Yeah. Exactly. And but like even if one of those people that are in the category of people I know
Right.
went down, we'd rally up.
Yeah.
You know, it's still the same feeling.
I mean, our groups in Southie used to fight with each other until the group from Charlestown came in.
Yep. And then Saturday kids came in.
Yeah.
The Quincy kids tried to come in.
And yeah, they never stood a chance.
Remember
As we're in QATP on Windows Access.
what was the club?
That was a long time ago, though. I have a lot of respect for everybody in Quincy and all the residents of Quincy.
Your residents, yeah. And what was that nightclub that was 18 over?
Oh, the Bahama Beach Club.
Bahama Beach Club. No, there was not. That was
Shout out to Randy Grayley.
that was in Marina Bay. What's the one that was built into the Lantana?
Oh, I don't know.
It's still there.
So Lombardo's?
Lombardo's, but then there was a number. It had a different name when they went 18 over. But anyway, that's where we met up, and as when we got there, all our groups went. So I remember with Sean and you being there at the Pizza Hut. You guys went in and got pizza. As we're walking up, and then
and I wasn't a fighter.
Yeah,
but I showed up.
There's only one kid from the Quincy group that stood up, and I think I don't want to mix names. So I'm not going to say who it was, but one person from our group that was one of the tougher of the group went in there, and you know how hard you knock on a door when you know they can't hear you? It was like 2 or 3, 4 knocks, and then and that was it. And we got on the train and all.
Yeah, or the big one I remember was the TJ Junior Hall, the Jammin' 94.5 concert.
Yeah.
With the Fun Boys.
I think that's when I was away.
Playing. It might have been.
I think that was by the time
PM Dawn opened up. Oh no, sorry, PM Dawn was the headliner. The full Fun was the Fun Boys, the Southie boy band that did some stuff. Hello, Jimmy.
Yeah.
All of them. And I don't know what happened. Somebody in the audience ran their multiple full Fun, and one of your group actually heard it. My group, I was with a smaller group at that point. They all started brawling, and all of a sudden, all you see is a big dude from PM Dawn start getting in between people, breaking the fight up.
Well, yeah, that was definitely when I was going. That was. I was going 92 right out of high school.
Yeah. So you would definitely, because that's when Jimmy and John and Louie.
I'd love to have seen when. Oh yeah, I went to a few. I went to
one of the videos.
The record release party.
Yeah, I mean so
I did security for them for a couple shows, small shows.
They filmed one of the videos they filmed one of the videos for "You Can't Play Me" at the record release party, and you can see me in the audience.
I did security for a couple small shows. The one down in Downtown Crossing.
Okay.
Tommy. It was me, Tommy, my brother John, and someone else, and we just were there. And they're like, "Hey." Tommy's like, "Hey, stand here."
Yeah, no, they were good. Like Jimmy can still sing.
Oh yeah, an incident happened. We're not going to get into that incident where kind of put the breakup of the band, let's say, and all I'll say is rest in peace, Louie.
Yeah. But did you ever hit the organ of the band? But you probably did.
I believe I did, but I don't know if for real.
Louie being a Quincy kid. Started a group, booked a show, and then the other 3 backed out on him. So he called Jimmy because he knew, I don't know how him and Jimmy knew, probably because Louie had Southie roots.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was fine.
Yeah, so
it sounded like my mother was friends.
Louie called Jimmy, knew Jimmy could sing, and Jimmy said, "Well, Jackie and John can dance better than anyone."
Jackie is nice too.
Yeah, so that was how it happened, and then he was telling the story. Jimmy used to love telling us, and I'll probably tell it wrong, so take this one with a grain of salt.
That's what he said. I'm just paraphrasing.
But Jimmy's father was a cop.
Jimmy Saw was a great guy.
Awesome. I loved Big Jimmy. Yeah,
Big
well,
Jimmy
it
was
was not Big Jimmy, it was Little Jimmy, but
Yeah.
I loved him. Yeah, awesome guy. And there's so many stories about him that I love. We didn't get to get Jimmy on.
I had the pleasure to work with him.
Yeah.
You know?
Was he still on when you were on?
Yeah. The
Nice.
tail end.
Okay.
When I came out, I was doing the walk and beating South.
Okay.
And
I remember
he'd
that.
drive by, he'd be like, hey, hop in. And we'd go get coffee. And
That's,
things. It was really cool to get to know him on that level.
yeah.
You
So
know?
Louis put himself into a situation. And
I remember this.
where he was in a house with maybe some ladies of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And some of their boyfriends came in and tried to basically rob them. Whoever Louis was with shot at them, and they ran out. And Louis passed away. I don't know anyone else who was there, so there's no snitching on anyone here. They ran out and they took off. And the next morning, Louis calls Jimmy up and says, "He talked to your father."
Yeah, I remember that.
And says, "What do you mean? Just let me talk to your father." And he gets Jimmy on the phone and explains to him what happened. Jimmy ran Louis' way to see if there was anyone looking for them, and then nothing came up.
Yeah.
And it was like, Jimmy was just like, "And never call me with anything like this again."
Yeah.
But you're good for now.
Yeah. That's what it was a lot of times. It was like even just growing up in Southie.
We were 10 feet from the ladies of the night, so.
Not even that though. I'm talking about something happens to always someone,
Right, you could go.
or they come to you or whatever.
Yeah,
You know.
nuts. But I always thought that was a funny story.
And then like, speaking of Southie growing up, that brings me over to some of the friends we've had on the show before that, unbeknownst to us, when training wrestling, and like if we knew about it, we would have went.
Yeah, Mike Davis. I knew Mike Davis because Mike Davis, where I hung out, he lived about a block away.
Yep.
And he used to come hide with us from people. Because Mike was a great kid. He didn't start any trouble.
But
for some reason,
he was a loner.
One kid in particular didn't like him, Woody.
Yeah.
And Woody, what's funny about Mike is Mike was always in shape. Mike was always built, and it was always big. Woody was tall but thin.
Woody wasn't even tall. He looked like Mr. Max.
But like Mike would come and hide. Ironically, Mike would come and hide with my buddy Jason,
Yeah.
who was
Small.
about 5'2".
If that.
So love you, Jason.
On the first step.
But Woody was cool with us. But Woody was still like Mike if he bumped into Mike and we were there.
Yeah. But with that too, though, I'm not saying people had credibility or clout or anything like that, but there were certain people in every group that if you were with them, whatever your beef was, it's now my beef if you want to keep it going. And Jason was one of those people.
Something.
Depending on which way the wind blew.
Right. Jason, he went through his shit, his stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I guess he's
He owns a couple houses.
Yeah, he's doing good.
So Jason's actually, in an odd, like, how small the world is Jason's my cousin's grandfather.
Okay.
So my cousin Paige had a kid with one of his kids. And Shannon East had a kid with one of his kids.
Yeah.
So it's like we're all like these are all people we all grew up with.
And that's the aspect of how we grew up. It was always like that.
Right.
You know, it was always mixed around. It was going to go that way, one way or the other.
Yeah. And I mean, you could write a book on some of those names I just mentioned.
Absolutely.
And in fact, I think there is a book on one or two of them.
Yeah.
But
and then you get back coming out and put Satin's promotion.
right. Yeah.
You know?
Patrick does the Walter. Patrick does the Killer Kowalski. I knew that, but I didn't think Pat was really gonna do it as a kid. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Pat was another one that, like, Pat was that kid that you just brought up. Like, he could go anywhere, hang anywhere.
Yep.
He came with us and he hung out with he would hang out with us when he came up to with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because his brother hung with you guys.
Yep.
Or he would be on his own stuff with his, you know.
Well, and that's kind of I was like that too.
And even when those two groups beefed, which was a short while,
Yeah.
my group, Pat was never involved in
Well,
that.
and even that beef though, it wasn't like we hate you. It was something over. It was probably I fouled Sean too hard at a DMBL game and playing basketball, and
Someone else got bullied and went and cried to the Twins.
oh,
And the Twins brought.
I know.
Yeah.
He's the referee.
Huh?
The referee.
No, it was so it was, I forget how it happened. No, he's still alive. I hope he's doing well. I know he had a little issue, but it was Paul Hogan.
Okay.
Paul lived near us. Used to get bullied by us a little,
Yeah.
and Paul took boxing with the Shea Twins,
Yeah.
and went to get the Shea Twins, who hung around with Kevin Bartel and Joe Blank and that whole crew.
Really?
And so that was where that all came from.
And I think that's when I think that started the ripple effect of when it came down. We came down. They came down.
Oh, yeah.
Next thing you know, Peter and Tommy are going at it.
I never thought of it like that. But
That I mean, that was all that same time frame.
it seems to me like Peter's so much older than Tom.
You
But
know,
there was also two boxes that were,
that was the two salty big time boxes that came out.
yeah.
You know, other than the couple that were pulled away and secluded. You know.
Well, you look at like Jimmy LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Jimmy LeBlanc was part of Team Mayweather.
Yeah.
And it went out. And when the second he moved to Vegas, we were contacted by two females there that they should probably come back and take a paternity test.
Yeah. Hey.
I love Jimmy. Shout out again. One of those girls happens to be my cousin, so Jimmy's one of my cousin's kids' father.
He's
So
all in Southeast Germany. He's your cousin.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
And that's what it was. It was like me and you had an all brawl on a Friday night, and then Saturday we're cool.
Yeah, oh, it happened all the time.
You know.
You called me Saturday morning saying, "Hey, you want to come play football?"
Yeah, it's whatever happens, and so forth, and then we go. You know, and you think about the dynamic of that, and I never seen it anywhere else.
Yeah, not to the extent.
Yeah, like I've never seen it where, granted I haven't been everywhere when this group or that group was growing up, but you know what I mean. I haven't seen the dynamic of where, as close as everybody was in proximity to each other, you know, look how many different types of people were growing up in that neighborhood. You know,
Yeah,
everyone says South the Irish pride, this or that, but there was so much more than just Irish.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. The problem was a lot of people didn't own up to the ones who weren't,
Yeah.
like you were out, everyone was Irish,
Yeah.
and that was the thought process.
And that's the thing, like, I remember going to playing different games and even CYO, the church league basketball, there were brawls. You know, big time. And like when we played over in Charlestown, I forget what league it was, but we played over in Charlestown against them. They had to have a multitude of cops on site. You know?
All depended on who the coach was too.
Yeah.
You know, because like you'd get away with more with the Joe Kelly than you would with the Lally.
And then you get away with a lot more with Caputo.
Oh.
He started it. I remember
Shut
one.
up, the Mike.
He's doing big things now, so good for him.
Yeah.
If you ever need security, call us.
Well, you can't stand up.
Canine security, right? We can do it. He'll lick him to death.
He's not security dog. The only thing he protects from me is this little mini dogs.
He protects me from falling. But like, you know,
Not that well.
I remember one time at a game with Mike, and I'm like, you know, like you sit by the bench, the table that scorekeeper is when you're next to it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that. I'm taking my knee and doing it right. And next thing I know, like Mike said, "What was that foul?" The coach said, "It wasn't a foul." And him and Mike going at it, you know, and I'm sitting there in the middle of it, and they get close to the point where like I'm like this, and it was, and then next thing you know, there was someone else on my team that whipped the ball off the other kid's head, and then and this and that. And,
You bullies.
oh, the brawls we got with East Boston were fun though.
But that was something.
But the best thing about that was then we went to high school and we met all those kids on a different level.
Right.
Like, yeah, that was fun.
But at the same time, you might have fought them on Saturday for BMBL or CYO, and then had a play in a game with them as your teammate and pass them the ball and get an assist with them
Yep.
on a Friday night
Yep.
playing for high school.
Exactly. And the dynamic that I grew up in Southie, a lot of people don't realize. And for those who don't know, if you listen, we're talking South Boston. I keep saying the word dynamic, but it's the easiest way to describe the way it's very complex the way it was intermittent. Because even if you lived up at the point, you had family in the project, and everything in the middle.
Yeah.
You
My
know,
mother's family were up in the projects.
I'm a product of the projects. You
Yeah,
know?
but then your family got rich about a house.
No, my aunt did.
But that's what
Because her husband was a firefighter.
that was the thought process. So the old, like I was never poor. I was never lower class, but we were middle class. We weren't upper middle class.
We got by. We got by.
I never heard from, but I never knew I wasn't rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there was always a couple bucks to go off. You know, back then, you give a kid a buck, he's getting everything he needs for $1.
you know, I might not have had the dollar to go with, but my mother would say, but here's a pizza.
Yeah.
You can eat on your parents. You know, or something like that.
Yeah.
It is funny. So,
I love you doing your mother's voice though.
this is a Selby episode. So, a couple weeks ago, I went for a walk, and I get a text from my buddy Kenny, he used to run ringside promotions up in Everett. He's an Everett cop. He actually gets loaned out a lot to the DA and stuff like that.
Okay.
But he's never caught by trade, by his employment. And he hits me up and just all it said was Jared with Jared last name. And I said, he's a good dude. Now, Kenny does TikToks. And if you look up, it's like Sweet Kenny Kelly. And Kenny goes shopping, and the first thing he does is put pineapple upside down in his carriage when he goes shopping. Which is a symbol. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's a symbol for a certain
I'm
lifestyle.
looking it up.
And when he texted me the name, I said, "Oh, because the last time Kenny texted me the name was because he arrested the guy." And it was one of my customers at Home Depot. They arrested him outside of my Home Depot I worked at. And I said, "Did you meet him through the pineapples or did you meet him through the badge?" And he's like, "Neither. I was on vacation." And he had like they had the hotel rooms on cabins next to each other. We ran into him on vacation. He's like, "I tried to ask him if he knew you, but once he said Southie, I knew, I texted you and Pat."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh yeah, I know, Jared. I grew up with him, like literally in his house every weekend."
And that's the thing.
And it's
You can go. I mean, if we went to California right now, LA, and it's somebody's gonna recognize our accent, and then they can say, "Hey, do you know so and so?"
it happens every
Because
time.
everybody knows somebody from Boston. All right, I want to know what this pineapple thing is. I'm Googling it, but it's going slow. You know, but that's dynamic. I mean, there was always wrestling, there was always all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so and then we just got to talking. And he's like, no. But he said, "Wait a minute, is Jerry telling me Jared's a pineapple guy?" And I was like, "I have no idea. I have no idea about that." Well, let's just say Kenny's trying to go shopping for more than bread at Market Basket.
Yeah. Well, you can't catch fish in the water.
That's Kenny's a good. He's He was like, when I first started going to wrestling shows and helping out, he was really the first one to like pay me for setting up the ring.
Yeah, I never got to that level, but then my life took another
There
turn.
wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
But it was something, and he would, he always took care of me, and he always bought us dinner after. He'd take us out for Chinese after and buy drinks. And even after, like, he sells concessions sometimes at patios, and me and him almost always have a bottle on us. And it's, Kenny, you bringing the bottle or am I?
Both.
Yeah, and we just get. Oh.
And that's the thing though with those shows. Like, I remember going back. The only time I ever got paid, I think I got $10 for a show.
Yeah.
And
that's all the you got to understand. That's all the wrestlers got.
Yeah, and like we were doing, but that was back. That was like we were doing more than setup. We were doing run-ins,
things like that. We break up the crowd type of thing. Break up the.
I mean, I was at one point. NECW had the TV deal, and what Matt and Kyle were afraid because they had the TV deal with New England Cable News. Even though it got buried on, it was supposed to be on like scheduled show, and it got buried like 8 menus down on demand when on demand first started.
I wonder if you can still find it.
They were afraid that it's out there. It's I like YouTube and stuff, but they were afraid that these kids that were doing ring crew for us, like parents were going to see TV show and think there was money involved. So what Matt and Kyle did was they gave me and Rob Tuttle, Creed, don't look him up, a budget.
I sent you that text out there. Remember that? I was away last week up in the mountains.
Oh yeah. So they gave us a budget. They basically gave us both like might have been $150, and there were maybe 6 people on ring crew, and me and Rob will split them up and give them each $10.
Yeah.
Once in a while, you buy them a pizza. I was walking out of there with $100. And Matt and Kyle knew because I had to turn in receipts for what I paid them, and they were like, the kids were all right with this. I said, Matt, that's all you have to pay me.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right.
It's like you need to set the ring and get in the show and you need $10. All right.
Right. And that was a great time at NECW. Like Eddie Edwards was there, Ivar was there as Handsome Johnny, Kofi was there at this point, Sasha was there as Mercedes KV at this point.
See, that's it. I must have mingled, but I remember I never mingled much with the wrestlers of town.
Me neither. But before the show, there was a few people that I would sit with.
Yeah.
Handsome Johnny Ivar would always be good for a, hey, what's going on, JP? How you doing? A handshake. And like he was always good for that. He was so friendly. And like Mercedes KV was like 17 at the time, 16. And like she was one of the ones that would sit down and like me and her would have conversations. And like I remember saying to her, like, you just have to get in front of them. You're good at what you do out there. You look good. You have the figure they want. You just need to get in front of somebody at WWE. And that's what she did. And, I mean, she was doing it anyway. It wasn't my advice by any means. It's what she was doing.
It was more of a reassuring saying, knowing that she's on the right path.
And she did that all. Like, a lot of those guys did that with the help of Chaotic Wrestling.
Different shows coming up this weekend.
She was trained by Chaotic. She was trained by Brian Fury at Chaotic. Shout out to Brian because he's one I still support. And but Chaotic didn't do for her what they did for some of the others that got signed. In that they didn't Chaotic would put the tape together for you and send it in.
Yeah.
Chaotic would make the call for you. They didn't think she was ready because she was so new, and she was, and she probably could have used a little time. But
then you look at people who have never trained.
She did it so well. She does it so well.
But speaking of Chaotic, real quick, they get the Boston Brawl, May 27th, 7:30 p.m. doors, 8 p.m. show. The Excel Academy, 401 Bremen Street, Boston, Mass. And you're gonna see Alec Price versus Brad.
Oh, that's in East Boston. That's at the high school.
Maybe we should go.
That's what day is it?
Friday, the 27th.
I have a concert.
All right.
You should go.
But they also have coming up Living Tewksbury on June 3rd.
I want to talk about
This will be the next.
coming up June 17th at the Shriners Auditorium, Wilmington, Mass. This is something I've been waiting years for. My buddy Joey Cap, who will be on the show, hopefully next week, but I can't promise that, is running a show. Joe ran some huge shows in Wilmington before in the same building under the WFC. And he's had the likes of Dana White in there, the Tap Out guys in there. Most of the Celtics, Big Baby Shaq. He had Rampage in for a show.
That's cool.
Like all in the audience. But then he had guys like Eddie Lozon who fought for the UFC fighting for him.
Yeah.
Steve Mays has coached a bunch of the guys that have been there. And he's got, so he rebranded it's Combat FC 1. Combat FC being the name, Combat FC 1 being the name of the show, June 17th, the Wilmington Shriners. Campbell versus Guerrero, not Eddie, not Chavo. And a welterweight belt. And he's got he always does big stuff. Joe doesn't mess around. And it's gonna be a good show. This place holds like, I think probably 5,000-6,000 people, and he sold it out.
Nice.
Enough for this show, so there's still tickets for this show. I'm saying in the past.
Yeah. Well, let's mark our calendars now.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm there for security,
All right. I'll just.
if depending on my situation.
Yeah. I'll come. Oh, yeah, I know it. But I'll come hang out.
What up? That's gonna be Black Hat. Keeps kicking me off. Say hey to Black Hat.
Hey, Black Hat, how you doing?
What's up, Black Hat? What's going on, buddy? And, what up, fellas? What up, Black Hat?
Salute.
I talked to the real Yeti.
Really?
In fact,
Oh, what's he up to?
let's see. Let's read it.
Is he ready to make an appearance back with us?
I don't know. He was supposed to call me tonight, actually. He where is it?
Be good to have him
He
back
said-
on.
Baseball games, soccer games, and tours for the school nonstop last 2 weeks. I'll call you tonight.
All right.
Finally have some free time. Well, Josh, it's Tuesday. Let's see.
Hey, you know what though? Reach out when you can reach out. That's all we can do.
I'm gonna see something. This is something we would do.
Yeah.
He told me he was gonna call me tonight, and he hasn't yet.
I'll be quiet.
Oh, you can talk. Oh, yeah, tell me he's on the air.
Hey, what's up, dude?
What's up? Is this Josh Richards?
The original Yeti?
You're live on the air of the Irish Whip.
Really, I'm at work dropping off kids and I'm live. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Amazing. I can't say anything that is abrasive or mean at all right now.
But yeah, you just said you were dropping the kids off at the pool. Is there going to be a video?
No.
I was just reading your text, giving a little. So I want to tell you, Josh, can you confirm that you're the original Josh Yeti of pro wrestling podcasting?
I'm the only.
So there's another Josh now out of Texas that calls himself Cyber Yeti.
Well, the first problem is he's from Texas. Texas doesn't count.
He's a part of one of our little, like one of our the podcasts that we're friendly with. But I tell him he's not the OG.
No, there's only one.
That's it.
I'm like the Highlander, dude. There can be only one.
So what's going on tonight? Update the Irish Whip. Update the mob on what's going on.
People have been asking about you.
What?
People have been asking about you.
Who is?
People who listen.
Well, yeah, I mean, they all know your 15th birthday was the other day.
No, I'm not 50. I'm 29.
Yeah, bold.
29-ish.
Yeah.
29 plus 29. His 29th
Well,
birthday.
hold on.
His 29th birthday just turned 21.
If he's 29 and we knew him when he first started, that's so wrong on our part.
Sorry. It's dumping down rain, and I have kids standing outside waiting in line asking to go in.
His 29th birthday just turned 21.
Yeah. I only stay out until 2 a.m. one time a year, and that was it.
But happy birthday, Josh. I know it was just, last week or something?
Yes. No,
So,
it was Saturday.
what-
This week.
I'll give you a big birthday kiss when I see you.
When are you coming back?
To where?
To the Irish Whip?
I don't know. When am I coming back?
Come on, fam.
Huh?
Come on, fam.
Whenever, bro.
So Off the Top Ropes podcast, Blackheart, who's like their host, their sort of do everything, said let them know our Yeti is bionic.
It's what?
They say their Yeti is bionic. I thought he said moronic.
It sounds more like moronic. You
know what's funny is the stuff you guys. I got to get you with this kid because it'd be like the. You ever see that Spider-Man cartoon where there's two Spider-Mans and they're pointing at each other?
Yeah, they don't know what to do.
Because the other Josh Yeti is also a teacher.
You know the kids.
Like the similarity, yes. Is that my man?
Yeah, it should really scare the world that I'm an early childhood educator.
Is your is that Jack over there?
Yeah, Jack is right here.
What's up, Jack?
Hi, Sophie.
What's up, dude? How are you?
I was reading at school. I
Oh.
had this one.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna open up the John Cena's when you go home?
Patriots suck.
Patriots talk.
That's not. Do the Steelers have a quarterback or a coach?
Who, me?
Do the Steelers have a quarterback or a coach?
Yeah, he's got the smallest hands in NFL history.
Yeah.
Do they still exist? What about that team from Montana? What is that?
Yeah, do you realize this will be the first time that my son actually watches a Steelers game where Ben Roethlisberger hasn't been a quarterback?
I was wow. And that's not Jack. That's wow.
You know what? Though, I'll be honest with you. I've never watched Steelers game.
Now, oh,
We want you back on, buddy.
iconic meaning he's an icon, like Sting is an icon.
It's like special occasions and events. No, the
That's
hardest
it.
part for me is going to school full time and working and establishing relationships with family and with kids is something that I've always dreamed and wanted to do. And getting able, and you guys letting me be able to do that. It's been out big. So I mean, oh my gosh, be good.
Yeah.
Just gotta call a loser. This is the kid. See there, Jack's calling me a loser now.
And by the way, this is like true Irish whip stuff. We were just talking about it. I picked up my phone and called you.
Yeah.
Didn't say nothing to Joe. Just started dialing.
We've done that many times before.
True.
Fucking Anthony Green call.
There he is. That's the Easter egg. Still going strong. He won't do the show anymore.
What?
He won't do the show.
He's too cool.
He's only done one podcast since his release, and it was Antonio's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, that's okay.
yeah, they didn't talk wrestling. They talked collectibles and stuff. So that was a little different.
Well, we're about wrestling collectibles. You can do them both.
Well, that's what they talked about. That's all Anthony collects.
Yeah. I saw the video with his t-shirts.
Yeah, the last one he showed.
Yeah.
The last. So Anthony's got about 500 T-shirts, and the last one he showed on his video was the Autism 316 shirt that he still has.
I saw
I
mine.
think it'd be more interesting to figure out how many pictures, what pictures he doesn't have with wrestlers, other than the ones that he does have pictures with.
I know. I think I'm giving something away next week.
Yeah, we've done that in a while.
I think I might give away Dan House an autograph.
I was like, what are your pairs of sneakers?
No, don't even joke with that.
I'm just saying.
It's not funny.
A little bit.
There's a sneaker convention in Boston this week, and I wish I could. If I
Where?
wasn't going to Worcester, if I wasn't going to the
Honestly,
concert, though.
the first time I've actually wanted to watch pro wrestling is when I saw Edge and Rhea Ripley together.
And you're still in that to this day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that group is amazing.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, maybe I'll start tuning in, but I'm still waiting for. I don't know, man. You know how just like
I don't watch it. Yeah, I watch the pay-per-views and that's about it.
And I watch it. I watch it if I'm alone. You know, like,
Always alone.
yeah.
You guys should watch it together, then you wouldn't be alone.
Can we hold hands?
We can do it over Zoom.
Hold on? This is gonna make Josh uncomfortable. Can we watch it the same way that
Then you lay in bed now.
Who's Dick Strings?
You guys both got your wife beaters on
who's-
and your
who's- Who's Dick Strings?
New fan pro wrestling, Chris Dickinson.
Yes. Can we watch it the same way Chris Dickinson was interviewed by us?
He was in bed naked. That was the most awkward interview ever.
That's
It
awesome.
was only awkward for you. Like Josh gets awkward if we do a Zoom call and I'm in a wife beater,
Well, I
which
get awkward
is
with
a
that.
t-shirt.
Yeah, he might have side boobs sticking out.
But Dickinson had, like, you can only see the top, and he at least had no shirt on. Like, I don't think he owns too many shirts. Like,
Yeah.
that's just how he walks. He's that New York bodybuilder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we weren't sure he had pants on through the whole thing. It was, and Josh
There's no way.
Josh almost hung up.
Maybe we can watch it while dogging.
No, I'm not talking with you.
Every minute, 9 a.m. in the morning. Like, I was like, what? I think that's the only one we ever did in the morning.
No, Wheeler.
Yeah, we did it.
Wheeler, yeah, he wanted to do it at like 8 a.m. or something.
Whatever works, they say we can record.
So, but Josh, I just wanted to check in on you, man. It's been a while. So, Chris, Rucka said what's up.
I love you guys and I miss you guys and I can't tell you how grateful I am for you guys letting me chase my dream and get us settled to a point where I finally have my feet on the ground with some good people, and I miss everybody, man. I miss doing it. I miss being a part of it. I miss that, but I know the distance makes it so tough because it's easier for you guys to be in studio and there, and you guys hear that?
That's a rain.
That's Montana right there.
Yeah.
You know what you don't wear in Montana is a white beater because you keep your ass well.
Yeah.
By who?
By the other white beaters.
Oh, get out of
And
here.
you know, like you said, you stuff with the distance and all that. Now that we're in the studio and things like that. But you know what? You're only a phone call away.
Right. We have a phone in studio if I figure out how to use it.
You know, you just gotta pick it up.
All right. So you can figure out how to use it
I
then.
have no idea what to do.
Right.
I think you press the button over there.
All right, go have a good show, man. I miss you guys. I love you guys.
All right. Love you too,
You
Josh.
too, brother.
Bye. So that was the return of Josh Eddie Richards, guys.
The original Yeti, not Cyber Yeti, not made up
The
Yeti.
iconic.
Mm-hmm. It's like the way you look at it is like our Yeti is Godzilla. Off the top ropes Yeti is Mecha Godzilla.
Nowhere near as cool.
Nowhere near as cool and falls apart very easily.
Mecha did fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what, you know what I watch for wrestling content? Is I watch Ethan Page's toy hunts. Ethan Page is like a huge toy collector. AEW Ethan Page.
Mhm.
And as they're touring, what he'll do is he'll grab guys like Danhausen or he's done it with Powerhouse Hobb and guys from the AEW locker room or girls. Like he's done it with Nyla Rose. And they'll go to they'll find a local toy store, like a hobby toy store, not
No,
not a Toys R Us. And they'll go shopping, and then it shows what they've all bought, what they all collect. It's pretty cool.
I was in an old store like that, but it was for books. I bought a couple of books over the weekend.
You know, learn how to read.
No, it was, well, one of them is Aesop's Fables.
Oh, yeah.
One of them was Aesop's Fables was printed in it's old, over 100 years old, and just about 100 years old. Maybe it was printed in the 20s, but it was written the way it should be written,
100 years old.
ish. But it was written for adults,
Right.
not the child version that you see things out today.
Yeah, it's almost like the Grimm's Tales.
Yeah. So I got that. I got another book on folklore, and I got a really cool book called Grandfather Tales. And all it is tales that would be passed down from generation to generation.
You know what my father? So I'll tell you a grandfather tale from my father's point of view.
All right.
South Boston,
Mm-hmm.
Farragut Park,
Mm-hmm.
the statue.
Uh-huh.
Does it make sense that Farragut, a French soldier, has a statue in South Boston?
Yeah. Not at all.
Do you know why it's there?
Somebody messed up.
Well, according to my grandfather, well, my great grandfather, actually, my father's grandfather, who I never met, the ship sank.
What?
The ship sank.
The ship sank.
I said the ship sank.
Yep. I was gonna let that go.
The ship sank right there, and they dragged it up to the land. The true story is, he was an American soldier.
Was he an American soldier?
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be originally down in South Carolina or something, right?
According to my father, it was New Orleans, the French quarters.
New Orleans.
But
I'm
that's
not
not the
sorry.
case. It was literally meant for South Boston the whole time. And my father got a book about South Boston, and it sort of ruined everything his grandfather ever told him.
But that's still debatable, though, because it all depends on where you look and who you're talking to. And
Yeah, so that's a little grandfather tale for you.
I love how you're getting ready. Oh, that's not the camera you're using. All right.
No, this kept shutting off for some reason, so I
Yeah.
switched to the laptop camera. So
Yeah, so we're gonna change things up a little bit, right?
yeah, I
In
don't
the
think we're gonna go live. Not so much anyway. Maybe once in a while. Honestly, we appreciate every bit of support that we get from everybody out there. So
Absolutely.
whether you're a Bobby D or you're a Joe in Indiana that
Yep.
listens to us, we love you and we appreciate you, because this is stuff we never thought would happen.
We
the
never
way it
thought
is.
this would happen.
But the live just doesn't do much to enhance the show
Mhm.
anymore. The equipment that we use for the live isn't as good as the equipment we record with.
And the sound levels are off.
We
And,
want everybody to get the best quality.
Yes.
So the live will be once in a while. Like tonight we went live, and the main reason we do it is for the banter. For tonight we had Blackheart chiming in
yep.
from Off the Top Ropes podcast,
He has a lisp.
WrestleNary,
Wrestling Every's
and
fun.
so many other. Yeah,
I'll give him that. Wrestling Every's really
you gave
fun.
him your D on the WrestleNary.
Hmm?
You gave him your big D on WrestleNary.
I did.
And they said we don't have big D's.
No. Irish curse.
And what WrestleNary is, for those who don't know, is it's a multiple choice quiz show that Blackheart of Off the Top
There's
Ropes podcast
There's a
hosts.
board game of a similar name, and it kind of plays off
So-
of that.
They so and it's pretty fun, because sometimes they do a whole show of questions that a preschooler that's watched a single episode of Monday Night Raw could answer,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have us on, and we apparently got the
Harvard
advanced
PhD.
doctorate version.
I think I got one question right.
I don't think I did.
I might, but I think it was only because I might have copied you. You put first or something.
Also, guys, so we mentioned Combat FC1. I want to talk about real quick the something Mike Carlo talked about here, the Elite Pro Wrestling Academy.
Yes, I've been seeing some pictures of that come along. It's looking really good.
Looking awesome. And we're in that group with Mike, which is like a sort of a wrestling training group.
It's a privilege.
And you got some good, I actually printed out one of the sayings that we get in there that they post in there. I printed it out in a little meme form and I hung it up in work for everyone to see. And it was Larry King quote saying, "I never learned anything while I was talking." So,
That's so true. And all we do is talk.
and I think everybody needs to like kind of take that in. So I said to my boss, can I print this out and hang it in the back? Because, everybody needs to hear that every once in a while.
Yeah. So that's the problem with a lot of things that are going around these days is that no matter how much you think you're in the right in that situation, sometimes you just got to shut up and listen. And with that, then again, going along on the not going live anymore, doing the recording and uploading. Might hear different episodes, different styles, different things. We'll see.
Yeah,
Changing things up a little. Still being wrestling, keeping our base in wrestling,
right. But
we're changing things up a little.
You had this conversation, and I had the same answer you did. Somebody asked me why we don't do those lifestyle podcasts, and I said, "What kind of do? We just kind of talk about wrestling too."
Yeah,
Because we talk.
because it big lifestyle. We just talked about Southie for an hour,
Yes.
like how we grew up and what it is, and
Although the clickbait title is going to be the return of the real Yeti.
yeah, the real Yeti.
I'm so glad he answered. We even got Jax.
Yep.
Jax is his.
Jax told you suck.
No, he told me the Patriots suck.
Oh. Well, I don't know.
There's no accounting for taste.
I don't follow sports.
That's all I got.
Joe,
what do you got?
I like watching sci-fi TV shows and made-up monsters and ghosts and aliens. Love watching ancient aliens. I'm gonna try to get Jojo Stukless on the show.
Who?
The guy that does ancient
Why don't
aliens.
we get Eugene on the show? Do you think that could happen?
Eugene?
Yeah.
Eugene from Wrestling? Eugene?
No.
Walking Dead Eugene?
Yeah, Eugene.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, well, the Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, Big Daddy. We met last 2
Yeah.
weeks ago. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get a couple of you off the second.
I don't know if we did a show last week. It's a couple weeks
No,
ago.
sounds bad.
We met Eugene,
Big Dad, Eugene Clark. I think
Big Daddy from the
George Romero, that Living Dead.
yeah. And we also met I didn't realize how long he was in pro wrestling for. Tyler Mane.
Tyler Mane. Yeah,
He wrestled Andre the Giant in Japan. I never knew that.
yeah.
So that means he was in wrestling for like
Oh, wow.
decades.
Yeah. And
Because
now
Andre's Japan time was before the WWE time.
he's making movies. He was Sabretooth in the X-Men.
And just so I can sort of tag them in this, every podcast is given their information, given their, and I'm not going to give mine on this, but I just want to say their name so I can tag them in it. Sasha Banks. Because with what's going on, I don't want to comment on what I think is going on because I don't know.
We don't know for sure. I mean, I know all I know about it is what happened.
I'm hoping for
I don't need to know why.
I'm hoping and things point to me in the direction I think. I'll tell you, you know what it is, so you can call me out if I'm wrong when I tell people at the end what my opinion was. And I'll stick to my opinion on what I feel should happen. And again, you can call me out if I change that, but I'm not going to say what they are publicly.
Yeah, no, I know what they are, and if it ever comes out, and it's one of those things where it's one of those like if you know type things.
Right.
If you know, if you don't, you're gonna keep watching to find out.
So shout out to QATV. Shout out to Spotify.
Shout out to Keg. He's
Shout
giving
out
us a
to-
good day.
Shout out to Spreaker. The Spreaker app.
Shout out StreamYard.
No, shout out to Spreaker. But yeah,
Shout
so
out to Off the Top Ropes podcast.
that's it.
And some of those other guys out there that are pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a couple good podcasts
Yeah.
out there. But that's all I got for this week.
Yeah, and then same here, and like we said earlier, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
That's it.
See you next Tuesday.
Those are.